So today I want to talk about how this amazing exercise makes you live longer, okay? First, I want to explain what HRV is. HRV, heart rate variability. It's a test that you can get done that actually can predict your mortality from heart attacks. I used to use it in my office all the time, and you can pick up some real interesting information. Have you ever heard of the long distance runner who crosses the finish line and drops dead of a heart attack, and they don't look like they're unhealthy? It's because they had poor heart rate variability. So let's just explain what this is. So every time the heart beats, it contracts and relaxes. And you're using the sympathetic nervous system, contract, and the parasympathetic, which is relaxation. Constantly, boom, boom, lub dub. So let's say, for example, your heart rate is 60 heartbeats per minute, okay? Now you would think that each beat is exactly 1 second, but it's not. The distance or the time period between the beats normally should be varied. So this one might be 0.8 seconds. This one might be 1.1 seconds. This one might be 1.3 seconds. This might be 0.7 seconds. So they're all varied, and that's actually a normal, healthy body. It's when they're the same exact time frame is where you become very, very unhealthy. Interesting, very counterintuitive. But the more varied that heart is, the greater the ability of it to adapt to things, the more flexible it is. But if it's the same over and over, it's very rigid and it doesn't recover that well. Let me just use another diagram right here. Let's say, for example, you started to exercise. You activate the sympathetic nervous system, okay? And then at some point you stop exercising. When you stop exercising, the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the recovery system, actively kicks in and actively pushes that pulse rate down. Okay, so we have this nice balance of sympathetic and parasympathetic going on, especially in the heart. Other parts of the body, there are different ratios, but I'm going to use the heart as an example. So we really want to align our exercise based on intervals, based on our heartbeats, based on this right here. We don't want to do this sustained exercise for a long period of time. It's much healthier to exercise in waves or intervals, as in high intensity interval training. So I recommend that you do short bursts of high intensity with a good amount of rest. And then do that over and over and over, because that'll be very, very healthy for your cardiovascular system, and it can extend your lifespan. And one of the reasons for that is this. Most people have a weakened recovery system, a weakened parasympathetic. They're heavy on the sympathetic system, the stress, and very weak on the recovery system right here. And so I had a patient, by the way, that she exercised, and then her pulse rate was like 150. It's pretty high. She comes in the next day. It's still at 150. I'm going, what the heck is going on here? She has no recovery. I tested her and there's no recovery going on. So there's nothing to push the pulse rate down. So a really good test to measure recovery is to do heart rate recovery testing, and just to measure your pulse rate after a minute of exercise and see how fast it comes down. If it doesn't come down fast, then you have a problem. So anytime you exercise, you want to work with both systems and not overdo it. It's definitely on this system right here. So short bursts of high intensity exercise, and I'm only talking 1 to 1.5 minutes, and then you allow yourself to rest for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, back and forth. And you can even apply this to any exercise. Like, for example, when I ride my bike, I will go really hard for a period of time, and then I'll coast for a while and ride lightly and then do it hard back and forth. You don't want to do sustained anything for a long period of time, because that actually works against the heart. So as far as health goes and cardiovascular flexibility, interval training is by far the better option. So if you're enjoying this content, go ahead and share it with someone that could really benefit from it.